Sorry, it went on early. Didn't mean to keep you guys waiting. So, hello. Oh, Built on the Rock Homestead, come back. So, hey, Graham and Karen, hello. Oh, I set it to schedule and it went live right away. I don't know what happened. But anyway, we're here. We're here. So, hello. Oh, thank you for coming back and for sticking around. I really appreciate that. Yeah, it showed up 4 minutes early here for me, but you guys are here, so thank you so much. There's something in my eye. Sorry, not quite ready here. So how's everybody? Hey, Pete's Little Homestead, hello. How's everybody tonight? Obviously, this had thrown me off a few minutes, so those last minute preparations to try to make, so trying to get it there. So I really need to put another light on in here. But you guys, is the lighting okay for you? Are we good? Or is it really grainy? So for those of you, oh, thank you, Karen. Really appreciate it. So for those of you who are new or just joining me, I'm Kathy from Northstar Prepsteader from Minnesota. And really appreciate you coming in. Hey, Kevin, hello. Thanks for coming in. I've got mods here. You guys are so great. The blue people are here, wielding the mighty wrench. So, Kiri, you had sleet last week. Yeah, today's in the 70s. I'm sure you do prefer this weather. So Karen, have you warmed up now too? I've noticed that like Zach and Jen's videos are showing still some really cold mornings, but so anyway, am I plugged in here? I need to plug in. And Kevin, how is it out there in Wyoming? Are you guys mild too? It looks like it's been kind of mild compared to what you would normally get. We've been mild too here. I think it's right now, it was around 34 degrees Fahrenheit. So it's just right above freezing for those of you. So, yep, still at 34. Chance of a frozen mix here tonight. So, yep. Hey, Julie. Hello. Thanks for coming in. Really appreciate it. 40s during the day, 30s at night, and wet. Yep. But you know, that actually sounds more like what would be your January, February weather, kind of, is it? So, Kira, you woke up to the 40s with sunny blue skies. Oh, yeah, that would. And we've been cloudy a lot. Just, you know, there's just a lot of systems moving in and out that are kind of going a little wacky right now. So Kevin, you're mild today and tomorrow, 50 degrees. Wow. Dipping back to the highs of the 20s. Okay. So the things are shifting there for you. The jet streams are shifting. Maybe we'll get some cooler weather too. Let me see what it's supposed to be. Rain on Wednesday. Well, we're still sticking right around freezing during the days, 20s at night. So, which is really pretty normal for November. It actually is. So if we get down into, you know, the teens and 20s for the highs at this time of year, that is colder than normal. But so Robin, hello. Thank you for coming in. You're saying, goodness, what a day. What happened? Oh, fog on the way to church. Yes, that, you gotta be careful of that fog. So there's a lot of that happens. I remember when I lived in Louisiana that whenever those, the systems would be kind of coming back and forth and cooling and heating and cooling and heating, it would be a lot of heavy fog. I mean, we get fog here too, but down Louisiana with all the extra moisture, it was pretty bad. So I totally get it for being in Texas there too. Oh no, Julie. Oh my goodness. I just don't, you know, I know part of the reasoning, but scientifically it does not make sense. And really logically, it doesn't make sense. I know what their purpose is doing it, but it really, people are going to be building fires so that they can cook. And it's just like, oh, so crazy. Hey, Alicia, thanks for coming in. Yes, Carrie, I know what that is about running into deer. Yes, so you just have to be really careful. The biggest deterrent that I've found when you can spy a deer like on the side of the road or in the ditch or something like that, lay on the horn. They run away from it. They won't get startled and run toward it or in front of you or anything. They'll run away from it. So just lay on the horn, and that works out really, really well. Oh, Robin, organizing the sewing room. Oh, that's a good winter type of project, isn't it? Or almost winter, I should say. Hey, In Yard Homestead. Hello from Australia. Thanks for coming in. We are around the world tonight. Hey, Atkins Family Homestead. Hello. Yes, it has been a little while. Thanks for coming in, Crystal. I really appreciate it. So, Julie, oh my goodness. Wow. Oh my goodness. That is tough. Thanks, Alicia. Yeah, it's, I don't know. It's, and windy on Wednesday. Okay. I mean, there's a lot of things I could say about that, but I don't want to get started. Yep, it is tomorrow. I think they said 14 hours difference, right? Is that in your yard homestead? So, yep, tomorrow morning at 8 o'clock. So this is a good time for you then, before you get off to work or whatever. So that's great. So Kira, you said problem is it's hunting season. The bucks are in red. Yeah. Oh, hey, I'm with you. Like, yeah, take your time. Get out there. Only drive in the dark if absolutely necessary. Oh, but you said it was foggy though too, so that is hard to see them then. So Robin, you're enjoying the project. Your hope is to make blankets and pillowcases to donate to shelters. Oh, that's so great. Oh, you know what? I need to be organized in order to have a project going too. I've started, now that I'm kind of done outside, I've started going through my house a little bit at a time, just working in the living room. You can see like the bookshelves behind me. I was going through all those, getting rid of some things, kind of reorganizing a little bit just starting in one room, and the den may be the next one where I'm at right now. So I'm just trying, I get so tired of piles and chaos and different things like that. I need to have some order in here, and I've been trying to purge for a few years, and I'm just trying to do a little bit at a time, even if it's a half hour a day, just going through one stack of stuff. I'm just trying to do a little at a time. So thanks, Karen. So, oh, you're welcome, Crystal. I try, so in fact, in your yard, I do not have you down. So let me get a pen here. There's a pen. Here we go. Yes, I try to get your name. So in the yard, what's your first name? And you're from Australia, but do you have like a province or something like that, or a city or something like that? Or what part of Australia? Could just say Southwest or something. So all right, Crystal or Kiri, we'll see you back real quick. So sorry. Thank you, Robin. Oh, you know what? I try, but it's because it's not a tiny house by any means, but it's a small house. And with all being a creative person, I get into a lot of different things. And so I got a lot of stuff going on here. And if I don't get a chance to organize something, everything gets kind of thrown into a room and it gets chaotic, and then I don't do so well with other things. It's like you know, it's like if one part of your life is out of order, it really affects other areas of your life. And so trying to get a handle on some things. So thanks, Karen. I have my cheat sheet here that helps me out too. So got it all typed up. So yes, Crystal, it does. And I think, who did I get this from? I think Scott at Hidden Valley Homestead. He was doing this, and it was like, oh, it's a great idea. And like I've said before, it really makes me feel like I'm connecting with a person, not just a name or a channel name, you know, that kind of thing. It's like, you guys are all people. I'm a person. So when we can go on a first name basis, even when it's virtual like this, and I can't hear you or see you, but if I get that name, it connects real well. So Josh, thank you so much. Midwest, Western Australia. Okay. So you would not be near the fires at this point then, right? Oh, speaking of which, how are they doing? I haven't heard anything for a week. If they're coming to an end, if they're growing. Southwest, West Australia. So Mrs. Grimsmile, hello. Happy Monday to you too. Thank you for coming. Thank you, Pete. Yes, I did that. Thank you, Josh. I really appreciate that. Yes, Crystal, we're a community here. So, and you're right, Grammy. Just thankful to be acknowledged. Oh, some lives, they never interact with their folks watching. You know, that's true. And right now, I mean, as much as it would be wonderful to have, you know, 50,000 subs or something like that, it's really kind of nice to be small yet for these chats, because it's not like just zooming by really fast where I don't even get a chance to really get to catch everybody. So north of Perth, okay. I have, so Josh, I had, when I was growing up, I had, and kind of mentioned this last week, I think, because we talked about that I've eaten kangaroo. When I was growing up, we had a foreign exchange student, a girl from Australia come. She was from Adelaide, and she stayed with us for, I don't know, 6 or 9 months or something. But now about every 5 to 7 years, she comes back to the States, and she visits. And she was just here a month ago. And so it's really kind of fun. Hey, Scott, you're on. You must be up in the crane, right? Are you just listening, or are you home this evening? Okay, fires are still burning. Oh, it's really, really tough. You know, obviously California is starting to deal with that too, trying to keep the fires down. So, yeah. Curious sometimes that, you know, it's fun just to, when you have lives like that are going so fast, it's fun to just listen to. I mean, that's really kind of what you have to do, is like just put it on to listen and go and cook or bake something, or you know, clean or whatever. But anyway, so your prayers for California are continued. Absolutely. Hey, Reap What You Sow, it's been a while. Thanks for coming. So glad that you're here. I know I have Todd, but is this Todd, or is this your lovely wife, who I don't have your name? But, well, Scott, you just be careful up there. So, oh, both. Okay. Well, hello. Okay, I don't know if I'm going to try to pronounce it. Geriath, something like that. So, oh well. Try to, but welcome. So, yes, I've got wonderful mods here. Kevin was here. He must just be listening, or he went to eat supper or something. And Oak Knob Farm is always usually here, but he must have gotten involved in something and forgotten. He always comes in about half hour late. He's like, sorry I'm late. Anyway, I gotta tell you guys, it's some of my cleaning. I was going through the bookshelf that's right there. And, you know, for years, it's been kind of one of those shelves that, okay, I have extra paper, folder, whatever, it just gets thrown in there, piled in there. And I came up with some things that are really cool. One of the reasons I call this Throwback Garden Planning, came up with my binder here that's got years and years of different garden planning plots in here that I kept track of. But I also found one, a little sheet of paper here that's stapled together. That was my garden from, you read this, 1995. And this is my youngest daughter's printing this in here. So it's just like so cool. So prove to you that, yes, I have been gardening and canning for 25 years. This is the first year that I started canning. So this summer was the 25th year that I've been doing it. So it's just like really kind of fun and cool. So hey, Strong Enough to Bend, welcome to you. So yes, it is a good season for planning and everything, especially those of you who actually have to start your next starts like in January or February. I know that you have to do this. I won't be starting until April sometime, just because I don't plant until the first week in June. So, okay, Adkins family, I only go live on Monday nights at 6 o'clock Central. So if you, and this goes for anybody here that's watching this, always, or not always, but from time to time, if you feel like you're not getting notifications, go back and check your links, because YouTube sometimes makes a sweep and goes through and disconnects the notifications. Sometimes they even disconnect the subscriptions. So so do go back and double check those, if because I put up at least one video a week and one live a week. So if you're figuring out you're not hearing from me, you just please go back and check, because I don't have a way to keep track of it. So you guys kind of have to do that. So thank you, Karen. That's been sweet. I do love to get mail. Oh, but oh, that's so sweet, Alicia. Thank you. I've done that with a few people too, that it's like, oh, like Thursday night or whatever, or something. So anyway, I started this way back, and I did like carrots. I put in like how long the row was. This is an 18-foot wide row. I got 6 quarts cut and frozen, and then 4 quarts of fresh for the carrots. Excuse me. Excuse me. Oh, sneeze. And then turnips and broccoli, peas, lettuce, corn, peppers, tomatoes. So it's kind of fun to see how good it was. Green beans, squash, pumpkin, watermelon, cantaloupe, cucumbers, strawberries. So anyway, it was great. So it really, really is helpful to keep track of not only your plot plan that you have, like this one, the last one I put in here was 2001. So it was when my garden was longer. So I kind of plotted out my areas. Was starting to kind of wane a little bit in how much I was actually doing. But I also, on the side here, see if I can see here, I wrote a list of the things that I had in the way of like trees and raspberry bushes and cherry bushes, different things like that. So these are things I already had, so that I would know that, okay, did it produce enough? Did it not? Do I want to plant another apple tree, or don't I want it? So anyway, that was really helpful too. And then reconfiguring my garden. This is before I had beds. I've only had beds for 6 years. So anyway, so it's kind of neat. And one of the other things I did in here was keep track of, like, when I buy an apple tree or this was a blueberry bush, to actually take the tag from that. So I have it in here for any reference for, you know, what kind I had, what kind of care it needs, and then putting in little notes and stuff like that. I also have some recipes that I found too, like my garden tomato soup. So all the things that I put in there from the garden. So anyway, I did that for each year. You know, kind of took a stock of what I needed and everything. On this particular page, I put germination periods on there. So so I would know, okay, this one is 3 to 10 days. This one is 4 to 10 days, then 6 to 10 days. So it's like, when do I want it to start coming up, and being able to figure out what goes on. So anyway, I got to catch up with my chat. So sorry, you guys, getting lost here. Hey, Caitlin, thanks for stepping in. I really appreciate it. Kevin, you have to get back to work. Oh, okay. Thanks for coming in. I really appreciate it. I really appreciate coming for Kevin for a while, so thanks. I hope you're still there. I can hear you, or you can hear me. So yes. So anyway, that really, really works. And so I don't have them in front of me right now, but I did a video on my whole garden planning this year, and it's got quite a few views on it. So if you want to go back and look at that, I plotted out exactly what my beds were, what I wanted in there. And I have to kind of remember what I had in there the previous year. Would it be a good idea to plant it in there again or not, or anything? So, hey, all right, Kevin, bye-bye. And hello, Dave. Thanks for coming in. You guys are passing the baton. Thanks. Welcome to Oak Knob Farm. I've such great mods, you guys. You guys are wonderful. I really appreciate you. Yeah, and so I keep track of what I'm plotting, what I have set out there, and I meant to grab that, but my live started 4 minutes early here on me, so I didn't get a chance to grab that. So I'm sorry, guys, but I am going to do another video on kind of how things were. Probably show some of these things. As well as what worked, what didn't, but I did a spreadsheet and figured out, because a lot of people have been asking, it's like, well, okay, how much did I produce in the way of pounds or quarts or different things like that. And so I have this spreadsheet I did on my garden yield for the year. Now I want to tell you that I've got now built 3 new beds here in this fall, so these are not included in that space, but I've got 3 beds that are 4x6, 3 beds that are 3x6, 2 that are 1x4, and then another 1x6 that's just herbs. They're kind of permanent in there. But so anyway, my total growing space is actually about 140 square feet, which is really nothing. I mean, think of like an 8 by 18 section or something like that's my total growing space. But when you see my garden in the videos, it looks like it's huge, looks like it's overgrowing, and it just has to do with how I plant things and how how things are arranged and everything. So with that limited growing space, I have to see how much I can produce. So out of the 140 square feet, I actually had 371 plants in there, and I got a total of 185 pounds of produce out of 140 square feet. So, which isn't too bad. And I mean, there were some areas that just didn't produce much at all, like my peppers. I think I got 4 peppers out of all my plants or something. So, but anyway, I'm letting you guys know this so that if you have very limited garden space, you don't need an acre of things. But if you have just to start putting out some raised beds or some boxes in here, you can get a lot of food. I ended up getting, like I said, 185 pounds of food. So you have 31 quarts and 62 pints of food. So 31, 62. So it's 93 pints or 93 jars of food. And actually, I thought I had more than that. I'm gonna have to go back and look at that again. Anyway, it was well over $1,000 worth of organic food. So in my little space, I think that's pretty good. It's just for me. It's like if you have a family of 4 and you need to quadruple that, that's over $4,000 worth of food. So if you have a family of 8, it should just go exponentially about how much you need. And that's what you have to figure out. So, hey, Stringfield Ridge Farm, thank you for coming. I appreciate it. Hello. And see if I missed anybody else here. You guys are doing awesome here. Thanks for keeping each other busy here while I'm talking. I really appreciate that. Pomona Ponderosa, hello. Thanks. So Alicia, you're thinking about getting a raised bed from Walmart, $70, 3 feet high by 6 feet with a cover. Oh, okay, that would be really nice. What is it made of? Do you know? So that would be really good. So so I'm kind of, it's kind of interesting. In the value they had, the $1,000 and $1,047, I did not include my herbs in there. I didn't have really any way to, in a quick moment, to figure out what it was. But it's made of wood. Okay. So that's really nice. So 3 feet high by 6 feet long. So it's 3 feet high. How wide is it? If it's 6 feet long, is it like a 3 by 6 or a 4 by 6? So 3 feet high, that's really nice. It'll be easy to get into for yourself too. So that is very, very great. But anyway, so why is it good to do this? It just really helps to, like I said, for planning your next year. Because a lot of you are starting to get into that mode of planning because you're going to need to start ordering your seeds. You need to start ordering your seeds in another 6 weeks or so, 8 weeks. And so, yeah, trying to plan out what you have, what you need, what your needs are. First of all, look at what you eat. What is in your regular meal planning of things that you can make? Tomatoes, green beans, onions, potatoes. All the different things that you would normally eat. What would you be able to grow to have that in there? And then what can you preserve? And then if you've already been gardening and preserving, then what have you used, and what do you have a lot left over that you aren't even using? So if you're like growing tons of broccoli and you've frozen it and everything, but you've only used maybe half a bag and you've got 20 bags of broccoli in there, it's like maybe you don't need to grow broccoli next summer, or just grow a third of what you had grown the year before, and whatever. So yeah, just be planning things like that. Hey, JNC's Oregon, Connie, hello, thanks for coming in. Really appreciate that. So Pomona Ponderosa, you have to get onions and potatoes. Most of the rest are seeds. Yeah. Yes, Stringfield Ridge Farm. You know what? I think every gardener does that for the first couple of years. I mean, I did it, and I was growing. Well, you see some of the things on here. I was growing turnips, which none of us even liked, But I thought, well, that would be good, to have. If I grow them, maybe we'll eat them. It's like, nobody liked them, so I'm like, okay. We grew broccoli, but they ended up with all kinds of bugs in them. So it was like, I'm not growing this again. Watermelon, I got one hill, but I got 2 melons out of it. So it took up a whole lot of room. I only get 2 melons, and I don't know if they even did very well, but our growing season is so short, and it's getting shorter each year. So that's really nothing that, unless I can find, like an 80-day watermelon or 85-day watermelon, that would be good. Cantaloupes, kind of the same thing. Cucumbers, they did really well. I had one hill with 5 plants, and I got 30 pints of pickles and a dozen fresh. So they did pretty well. Let me see. Yeah, so anyway, kind of fun. That was the very first year that I was really gardening in 1995. So it's kind of fun to look at that and see. Good point, Pomona. It's like, don't overwhelm yourself. So, yeah, Dave, short season and everything. In fact, I've been talking with a lot of farmers because right now our ground is frozen and probably down 12 to 15 inches at least, maybe even 2 feet, because we don't have any snow cover. So the farmers have just gotten like all the sugar beets out and potatoes, anything that was in the ground. They just got those out when we still started getting maybe a couple inches of permafrost. But now, and then they got the soybeans out of the field, but now there's still a lot of fields of field corn out there that's dried that they're trying to get out there and get. And it's just been really tough for the farmers because we had such a wet fall, so they couldn't get out there. It was just mud, and they were sinking and getting stuck like crazy out there. So they had to wait till the ground froze. So now they're out there trying to harvest that. But anyway, talking with a lot of the farmers, they agree too. It's like they're going to need to start looking at short-term, crops. It's like instead of putting in 120-day corn, they might need to look at 100-day or even a 90-day corn or something like that, and really try to get things going in that way. So, yep, Josh, grow what you will enjoy to eat and try something. That's a good point too. Yes, try something new every season to see if you like it. And this year I tried a bunch of different peppers. My sweet bell peppers did not do it at all. They got attacked so badly. And my paprika peppers did well. I only had 2 plants of those though. My banana peppers, which I was just hoping so much because I love pickled banana peppers, but they were attacked too. I think I didn't even get one good pepper out of those. I mean, a lot of them grew, but they got so eaten up. Mrs. Grimm Smiley said, of the huge garden you planted, you only got radishes and onions? Or those are the only things that you liked? So yeah, neem oil, yes. And you know what? I've got a jug of it. It's one of those things that I have not used, and so it takes me a while to get like into the mode of it's like, okay, how do I use it? So Dave, you said, I reminded you about the frozen ground. You have carrots in the garden for Thanksgiving. You better get those. Yes. They talk a lot about keeping these root vegetables like that in the ground. It's like, oh, you can go in the middle of winter and pull them out. And it's like, Dave and I can't. He's in New Hampshire, and it's like, yes, we get, they'll be frozen in there till next spring, and then they'll be just compost at that point. So I know that there's a way you could do it if you surround it with piles of hay bales. so that the ground won't freeze during that in that area. But you know what? That's more work than I'll go through. Oh, but speaking of carrots, remember I showed you the 3 different carrots that I grew, the red, the orange, and the yellow. And the yellow ones really didn't have much flavor to it or anything. I just went in, I wanted to make some carrot soup with the yellow ones, and because I could add more things to it in the flavors, and I had 2 full gallon bags of them. And then I've kept them in the refrigerator because last year I was able to keep my carrots fully wonderful and viable and flavorful and crisp and everything for almost 10 months. And I went in and I've only picked them like, 2 months ago? Something like that, 2.5 months ago. And my yellow carrots were just mush. They were rotted, they were molding, they were mush. And it was like, they went right out into the compost. I was so disappointed with them. So it's like, definitely do not grow those. So I'm going to add that to my little note card there on those yellow ones. But yeah. So Scott said, you've been growing cauliflower the last 3 years and you love it. You know what? If it works well in your area, definitely, absolutely. So so Dave, biting your paprika peppers did well, but they didn't mature before the frost got them. Okay, yeah. Underwater, low germination. You know, and I had mine in containers, and I think I've mentioned before, I did some container planting this year that I've never done before. And we just get so hot and dry in July that I couldn't keep up with keeping them watered well enough and keeping them moist. So they did not do well. Wanted to show you one other thing here that I found when I was going through that shelf again that I was clearing out. My mom is so great. And if you guys have been following my lives, she was on my Labor Day live and telling me about her dad and different things like that. But anyway, she has kept like stories. I mean, just like a thick binder like this of stories of our ancestors and things that she did growing up and what my dad did growing up and all kinds of different things. And in going through that, I found a folder that I'd forgotten that I had, and I need to frame these. But these are pictures of when we were little. And yes, that's me. So this is just half of us. So it's me, my older brother, my younger brother. And here's 5 of the 6 of us at that point. So here I'm probably about 9 years old or so. And so there were 4 boys and 2 girls eventually. But anyway, yeah, it was kind of cute. So this one is just really sweet. I've got one that's, I think, the same, during the same photo shoot. It's just of me. I've got that framed in my bedroom, but maybe I'll bring that down sometime. We'll see. But anyway, yes, I've got to frame these up. These are very cool. This picture saw us probably about 2.5, maybe 3. So that was 58 years ago, 59, something like that. So yeah, kind of sweet. Thanks, guys. Yes, Abiding Acres, I do, and I've had some before in the past that I really like, and that like last year when I grew them and store them, they lasted like 10 months, like I said, and so I need to go back to that variety. And the orange ones were really good. Of what I grew this summer, the orange ones and the red ones are still storing well. But anyway. So I made a carrot soup out of the orange ones, and it was really good. My sister was here yesterday, and so we got to do that. Hey, Thrifty VG, hello. Thanks for coming. Thanks, Mrs. Grimm Smile. I really appreciate you coming. And next time, I don't know that I have. Next time I need to get your name. So, hello, Vicky. Thanks for coming. Hello, David from Wyoming. Thanks for being here. Really appreciate it. And Darlene from Northeastern Oregon. Sorry. I do not have Lord of the Rings on the brain, but it just came out that way. So, yes, welcome to everybody. Really appreciate you all coming. So, so for garden planning, you guys just really, try to keep track of what you've done, what you've plotted out in theirs. And I would suggest that you hold on to your plans and hold on to your, what you've written out, and keep them from 3 to 5 years, because what you grow one summer might not work. And you're going, oh, you know what? 2 years ago or 3 years ago, we had really good success with these particular tomatoes. And it's like, what did we grow? And, how many plants did we have? And we don't, you can't remember from year to year, really. And so if you have it written down and stuck somewhere, it really helps. And so for me to just put things in this binder or whatever works for you really, really helps. I think I have my other ones in my seed binder that I have. But hey, Gill, thanks for coming in. Oh, no worries. No worries. I know what that's like. Hello, Jesus is Lord. Thanks for coming. Really appreciate you being here. So, it really does. And hey, Voyager, it's Jerry from Ireland. So, no worries. You're here. So, thank you for being here. I really appreciate it. To keep track of things from year to year, and of what you grew, where you grew it, how much you grew, how the germination was, how it produced, how well it canned up or preserved in whatever way you did it, freezing, dehydrating, canning. Also, how well it's stored, like the carrots. I like eating them fresh, so I just store them in my vegetable drawers in my refrigerator, and they've done really well that way, except this year. So, so it's really helpful to know exactly what varieties that you grew, the brand that you had gotten it from, whether it's Baker Creek or Emma Gardner or Walmart brand, if it's Burpee or whatever you've used. It's like, keep track of that. That's really, really helpful. And then that helps you to plan for the next year. And so if you've put up, 150 jars of green beans, but there's only 2 of you, is probably not going to need 150 jars of green beans the following year. So you can cut back on how many jars that you can this year, or how much you grow. It's like, okay, so we did 3 full rows of green beans. Maybe we only need to do 1 or 2 this year. So anyway, that makes a difference. So yes, sir. Oh, lots of new arrivals. So yes, Dave, thank you. Voyager, she's been, I think it's a she, right, Jerry? You have been just binge watching my videos, and you're just amazing, and commenting on everyone, and it's like, oh, Pomona, I do have you down here. Diana from Missouri, so thanks. So yeah, anyway, yes, better late than never. All right, so showed you those, and what projects do I have going on now? Just really just trying to clean through some things so that I can get ready and move on. And for those of you who saw my videos or were around last winter into the spring, you saw where I was. I had like my gardens, my little mini greenhouse and my starters set up in my living room. Well, I don't want to do that again this year. So it really kind of interfered with that for like 3 months. So I'm going to try to clear out some space here in my den and get those set up here. I don't know that I need to do as many plants as I did last year, but anyway, so Alicia, thank you. That's so sweet of you. Sunny Preps, hello from Pittsburgh. So Diana, you're a zonk, you've been taking care. Oh, okay. Good night, and you take care. So Diane or Diana? Diana. So thanks so much. You guys take care, and I will keep you in my prayers. So, hey, Debs Way, hello. You're considering trying your hand at a real small garden next year, tomatoes and green beans. You know, that's excellent. Just starting a little bit. The two of you, you're thinking of just doing something like wooden planters. Would that work? Yeah, absolutely. I don't know if you've seen any of my garden videos at all, but I've got my beds are all made out of pine, and they're all raised beds. So wooden planters, you know, depending on what you're growing, like the bean or the tomatoes, you want them deep enough. I would say have them at least 15 inches deep, because they're going to need that stability to go that deep in order to be able to grow well, because they can easily get to a 6 to 8 foot plant if you do it right. And so otherwise, the beans, you could probably get by growing them in probably 8 inches or something like that. So, but yeah, definitely have the tomatoes a little bit deeper, but enough space around. Now, it's amazing how spread out the tomato roots get, the root systems of those plants. So give them enough room. They don't like to be crowded. Otherwise, at least the root systems don't like to be crowded. So the Scott Gill kept you up another hour last night. Oh no. I had gone, when I signed off it was like 10:30 or something, 10:20. And I was working on something else, and I popped in like another half hour later just to see if you were done or not. You were still going. And I was like, oh my goodness. It's like, no, I can't get back into it. So, but yeah, that was pretty long there. Gil, you need a hobby, right? Oh, thanks, Scott. You're very, very dedicated here. I appreciate that. I know, Alicia, isn't that Built on the Rock? That's just a great name, too. You guys all have great names here. I'm just so happy to be able to know you and to get to know you in that way. So, oh, you're welcome, Debs Way. Do you have to provide for the green beans to vine? Now, that depends if you grow bush beans or pole beans. If they're going to be pole beans, yes, you need to have a place for them to vine. And I don't grow pole beans, so anybody else out there, how much height would Deb need? Would she need 6 feet? Would that be enough? Or does she need higher than that, 8 feet? You could even maybe have a trellis up against the wall of a house of your house or something like that to support. You could put a 10-foot trellis up there and have them up there or something. A lot of people like to do an archway with like the cattle panels, so the beans just all hang down in between there. You can just go in and just pick them up. It looks like I'm milking a cow, doesn't it? But yeah, so there are many, many different ways. So I would definitely spend the winter looking at videos for people who are growing pole beans, if that's what you're going to be doing. So, hi, Kate Rogers. This year we are new to gardening veggies. For sure, a learning experience. Some grow way bigger than we thought. Some took so long. Oops, I missed you. To grow, and others didn't work at all. Can't wait for spring. Kate, that that is the life of gardening. And every year is different because the the um, the seasons are different. You might have a dry summer, you might have a really hot summer, you might have a cool summer, you might have super wet year. You might, and according to your life schedule too. I mean, it's like if you end up, this summer I had to be gone more, so I wasn't able to water the way that I needed to. Thankfully, we had some good rain, and then my raised beds do hold a lot of rain, but like I said, my containers didn't do well at all. So, um, things change all the time, and according to the varieties that you grow and all this kind of stuff. So never get discouraged with it. Just every year is a learning experience, and I've been gardening for over 25 years, and so it's still a learning experience for me every year. And if you find that it's not, then either you've lost the joy of gardening, or you become so uh, so like know-it-all type, proud type of that, like, oh, I don't need to learn from anybody else, that you're going to end up failing with it at some point. So um, just take it as it comes. And like this year I had visions of having like 25 butternut squash that I could can up and have it all year, because I love butternut squash soup. And I didn't get one single butternut squash that I could grow. Two little ones came in, one got destroyed with hail, and the other one just didn't grow. So it was like a total fail for me for squash and zucchini and a lot of the peppers. And so those are some things I was really hoping to have. But so anyway, I learned stuff from that this year. So I'm going to change that up for next year and see what I can do. So Sunny Preps, you finally cleaned up around your garden. Your new puppy ran around with all the dead vines. Oh, he helped you. That was great. Oh. So just in time, prepping's round table. Oh, that sounds good. So, yeah, what a cute little helper. Absolutely. So Dave, Oak Knob Farm said your pole beans were 5 to 6 feet this year. Okay. So Deb, that can give you an idea of what kind of space you need where you are, and the height and everything. Just make sure you have, whatever it is that they're going to grow on. Make sure that it's either something that can wind around, or that it can grab onto very easily, so it doesn't flop over and start grabbing onto other things or whatever. So 6 feet would be good. Okay, thanks, Pete. Alicia, all of us are able to contribute in some way or another, so don't feel that you're not of any help at all. So, okay, pole beans or bush beans? I prefer bush beans just because they are an earlier producer. Bush beans, they will get about 15 inches high, maybe 2 feet high, something like that. And they just kind of bush out, and they'll produce in clumps on the bush. And it's easy for me in my raised beds to have that in there. But then usually I like to get like an early girl. Is that tomato? Yeah. No, it's an early bean of some sort, an early bush bean. And so there's like a 58-day type of bean. And so they produce, and they're all at once. So within like 2 to 3 weeks, I'm done canning them. Pole beans will tend to continue to grow, continue to produce, that type of thing. So I like to just get them all done, be done with it, pull them up, and then I'm done. So this is kind of the way I work. So let me see. Who else am I missing here? So Kate, potatoes, tomatoes, peas, and beans. Yeah. Everybody's saying hello. Kept stealing your garden tools. Kate, you found joy and some peace in your garden and learning to preserve your food. Yeah, yeah. So, oh, good night, Pete. Thanks for coming. I really appreciate it. I hope that you were still here, that I could say goodbye to you. You're welcome, Deb. No problem. Beans are something that I've done every year, and so I'm kind of like beans with at least bush beans, the way Jess is with tomatoes. So you love growing pole beans up cattle panels. Okay. You know what? And it all depends on your space and your climate and your lifestyle and, what kind of energy you have and what kind of ability you have in that way and that's the beauty of growing things. It's like there's so many different ways, so many different things you can do. So strong enough to bend. You like bush beans also. Yeah. Pole beans and taters swimming in bacon grease. Bacon grease. Oh my goodness, yes. Oh, when I was looking up the value on these, and what I did is in the prices for the food that I produce, I was comparing it to organic food at Whole Foods, and that's kind of where I went for the prices, just to get an estimate here. And when I was looking at the green beans, they had these plastic containers of green beans, but they were like swimming in garlic and olive oil and different things, so that they were like all ready to eat. So I imagine they were at least cooked some, part way or something, or pickled or something. And they were going for, what was it, $10 for like 12 ounces or something like that. It was just like crazy. But like you said, it's like you save your bacon grease and you've got your beans and you've got your potatoes and you can just make this whole thing for just almost nothing. And that's so neat to have there. So Josh, you planted brown seeded snake beans this year, and they're 8 to 9 feet already. Wow. I've seen a number of people growing snake beans. That is great. I don't know that I could. I think my growing season is too short for that. I don't have the setup for it at this point either, too. So, because my garden is kind of small, I don't know if doing cattle panel arches would be efficient in my garden. I don't know. Some year I might try them. I might get a wild idea this winter and try to pick something up and do that. I don't know. I'll have to see what I end up planning. But I've got quite a few months yet to plant. So I don't even have to start buying seeds till probably February or something, February or March. So Debs Way. Taters, carrots, and green beans steamed all together is fantastic. Yep. So when I made my carrot soup yesterday, I used the orange carrots. I sauteed up, or actually caramelized, an onion from the garden and some garlic, which was not from my garden, but it's still organic. And then just blended that all up together with the carrots. I cooked the carrots in my Instant Pot, so I steamed those for like 5 minutes, I think, and they were totally done. And so I was able to do that. Just add, it was probably about 1.5 pounds of carrots and maybe 1 quart of water, maybe more like 1.5 cups, something like that. Or wait a minute, 2 cups. 2 cups is a pint. So maybe a pint of water. So anyway, and then seasoned it up, and it was like really good. Added some chives to it and salt and pepper and some other seasonings. But yeah, it was really good. But you know what? Although my sister is vegetarian, but it sure would have been good to have some bacon juice in there too, I think. Actually, some chicken stock added in there instead of water would have been my choice. But anyway, can't throw the chicken stock in for a vegetarian. Doesn't work. So hello, Darlene. Thank you for coming. You've never been successful growing zucchini. However, your across the street neighbor has an overabundance and shares. You know what? That is so true. And that's so great that if you know that that's going to be part of your what you gather throughout the year, through the summer and everything, or especially at harvest time, if you know that there's somebody else that's going to be growing a bunch of stuff that they always do well in, it's like, why try to grow that too? Use your space for something else. So that's really great. Yes, we've got about 2 minutes left here. Oh, Grammy Karen, thanks so much for coming. I really appreciate it. You're probably already gone too. She's getting ready to do her kids live in just in 2 minutes. That would be Stiver's Homestead. So I always like to give you guys a chance to go and see other live shows, and I really encourage that to support everybody. And so I will be off here in about 2 minutes. So any last questions from anybody? But Connie, veggie broth is good too. I didn't have any at this point. I've used all of mine, so I need to make some more. But okay, thank you so much. We're grateful to have you here too. So I know, isn't the community here on YouTube just fantastic? It's great. Debs Way, nice chatting with you too. Oh, you're welcome. You're welcome. So, yep, I will see you next Monday. Oh, okay, Thursday. Definitely will be praying for you. Definitely. So, Alicia, let us know how that all goes. Thank you. Thank you, Julie. I really appreciate it. Oh, you guys, okay, those are cute. Oh, thanks, the little bean plants. Yes, we'll see you at Stivers, you guys. You guys take care. Thank you so much for coming. I really enjoy having this time with you. It's so fun to be chatting with people around the world. This is so great. And Josh, thank you so much. It is a great community. So you guys take care. God bless. And again, always have hope. Bye-bye.